Over the past 4 decades and more, there have been many moving stories of people-to-people friendship between China and the United States, as exemplified by My China album. The event was held in 2019 by the Chinese Embassy and China Daily to celebrate the 40th anniversary of diplomatic relations. This year, the COVID-19 pandemic has prevented us from continuing this event in person. But more stories of solidarity, as well as friendship and humanity, have emerged between our two great peoples at this difficult time. They deserve to be told, shared, and remembered. Megan Monroe, an art teacher from California working in Wuhan, decided to stay in China even though she had a chance to leave with other US citizens. From day one of Wuhan's lockdown, Megan shared stories on TikTok about her life in quarantine, recording how people in the city of 11 million were coping with the challenges and how they supported each other.
We started making TikToks on the first day of the quarantine because we wanted to exhibit what was actually happening. After that, it's become our way of being positive news, so we try to show people the best of the worst situation that we're in. Nothing on there is really a lie. Everything's pretty honest because I'm a pretty positive person anyways, and I just want to spread that positivity to people all around the world who are dealing with the same thing. As far as TikTok goes, that's not the platform that I would have first thought to do for this kind of news, but it's been one of the most beneficial ones. There's a lot of positive comments on there. A lot of people are telling me that I'm a hero, which I think is a little bit too far, but also I'm very gracious for that.
Dr. W. Ian Lipkin, a professor at Columbia University in the United States, visited China in 2003 to help deal with the SARS epidemic. In the late January 2020, at the invitation of the Guangzhou government and Sun Yat-sen University, Lipkin went to China soon after the COVID-19 outbreak. It's the second time that he joined hands with Zhong Nanshan, China's leading respiratory disease expert, to fight a major public health challenge.
So Professor Zhong Nanshan is a friend of mine since 2003. We met during SARS and we met again this time. And as you know, he's working tirelessly, despite the fact that he's not a young man anymore. And we had frank discussions about what it is he felt we needed. And I'm complete agreement with him. He needs better diagnostics so that he can identify who's sick and who's not. He needs treatments, and he needs vaccines. He also needs personal protective equipment.
我们和 Harvard Medical School 和他的附属医院进行了3次的这个电话这个电视的讨论，所以这些活动啊，我觉得还是很有帮助的。因为中国走得早一些，有2个多月啊，有我们自己的一些经验，但也有些教训。我们是准备在很多项目进行再进一步的交流。这个交流啊，是大家互相交流，减少一开始的弯路是非常重要。
Jesse Appel, a Chinese 相声 and stand-up comedian from the United States, hosted a charity comedy show at his high school in Boston in February, raising $12,000 that he used to purchase 60 boxes of medical supplies for Wuhan.
There was also a lot of similarities between the funny videos that we saw in the beginning of the Wuhan lockdown and then the videos we saw from America. My hope is that while we saw some really horrible things go on with anti-Asian sentiment here in America, we've also seen a lot of people that are coming to recognize, hey, when Asian Americans were telling people to wear masks in January and February, they were right. When we have Asian doctors that are helping to heal people and to make sure that life is livable afterwards, these people should be appreciated.
As COVID-19 continues to sweep across the world, the Chinese people have never forgotten their friends in the US. Ambassador Cui Tiankai wrote in the New York Times in early April, pledging unreserved support for New Yorkers and the rest of the country. On July the 10th, Ms. Karina Ho and others presented the urgently needed donation of 100,000 KN95 masks to the state of Maryland and Montgomery County.
My name is Karina Ho. I was fortunate to meet and become good friends with Mr. Si Lee. As soon as Mr. Si heard of the pandemic hitting the United States, he reached out to me about wanting to help the situation we have been facing and continue to face here in my home state. He decided to donate 100,000 KN95 masks to the 3 organizations I currently lead and represent. Sharing the common interest in wanting to help prevents the spread of the virus, and being aware of the shortage of masks and other supplies here in my home state.
A group of Chinese students from Santa Clara University in California donated thousands of pieces of personal protective equipment to the local community.
Because we are international students, so we understand that we live in a global village and we have a shared future. So to face this common enemy, we need to face this problem, we need to solve this problem, we need to work together to defeat it.
On April the 2nd, the plane of the New England Patriots football team flew back to Boston from China with 1.2 million donated N95 protective masks. By August 2nd, China had provided the US with 26.5 billion face masks, 330 million protective suits, 31 million pairs of goggles, 610 million pairs of surgical gloves, and 11,500 ventilators.
这场疫情启示我们生活在一个互联互通、休戚与共的地球村里。各国紧密相连，人类命运与共。
People really, united in supporting, defeating this crisis. So, you had nurses and doctors volunteering to go to Wuhan. You had construction workers going volunteer in Wuhan. And that reminded me a lot of America's 9/11. After 9/11, we had police officers and firefighters, of course, supporting us, but we also had, just everyday people, construction workers, trying to, repair and search for people. So it reminded me a lot of 9/11. There was a catastrophe, but the whole country became united.
In Beijing, just the lines of people, when they would go through entire towns, to get everyone tested as well. And it was just so impressive because everyone's working together. And you could really tell that community was the priority and just keeping everyone safe. And I just thought that was so touching.
I work with 外国人研究协会, called Why China. It's a bunch of expats who live in China. We really like living there. We like sharing kind of culture with people. And I remember just in the middle of Wuhan, a lot of hotels that, didn't have any clients or any people staying there, they decided to offer them up for the doctors who were working 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour shifts. A lot of taxi drivers, they offered to drive people to the hospitals and back for free. A lot of delivery guys, they were delivering food. Restaurants were giving food away because everybody needed to come and help out. And I think that was something that's really, it's really touching, and it's also just really impressive to see how everybody in a time of complete and utter crisis came together.
Max Horn, an American student at Harvard, won the first prize at last year's My China album event.
During the My China album story sharing event, Chinese ambassador to the United States, Cui Tiankai, suggested I visit Linzhi in Tibet to view the blossoming spring flowers. Cheers to you all, and to a spring in Linzhi and everywhere, blossoming with life and love. 中国加油，美国加油，世界加油！
So see you in My China Album 2021.